Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Tyson Fury says he's feeling good and he's ready for Deontay Wilder on February 22nd. So in this video, a number of comments or statements, I should say, that were made by Fury in a media conference call. And that audio is up in its entirety on my backup channel, 99 Boxing. It's about 30 minutes or so. I've got a link pinned in the comment section here. So if you want to go see the full version, or listen to it, I should say, you can fill your boots over at 99 Boxing, but we'll crack into it. So Fury, he says he's not worried about Wilder and how confident the WBC champion is.
His mindset is none of my concern. Every fighter I've ever fought's been confident they're going to win. Because if they wasn't, they'd be in the wrong game. That's for sure. As performing athletes, as champions, you always believe you're going to win, but it hasn't affected me so far in my career that every other opponent I've ever fought thought he was going to win and they didn't. You know, it doesn't matter what the opponent's mindset is. It's about what mindset I've got going into the ring and what game plan I execute in there. And that's all it comes down to. Wilder can be the best Wilder he ever wants to be. But if my mindset's totally concrete on winning, then I'm going to win, for sure. And it's how much you want it. And I believe I want this more than Deontay Wilder does. Deontay Wilder wants to be a famous guy. He wants to be an actor. He wants to be on TV. He's into all that lifestyle and all that. He's just what I'd call a social climber. He wants to be something he's not. Me, I don't care for all of that stuff. I don't care about being famous. I don't care about being somebody wants to shake my hand or be on TV. None of that stuff means anything to me. The only thing that means something to me is winning these fights. That's it, period. And when the boxing's over, that's it for me. There's no more fame. There's no more nothing. Because I won't take in any more steps to be an actor or to be a singer or to be something like that. Because it doesn't interest me. I'm a purebred fighting man, through and through. And when it's over, it's over. That's it. Nothing else matters to me.
The Gypsy King says he feels that he couldn't have prepared any better for this rematch.
I've never, ever been as focused or as ready for one fight as I am for this fight. I have pulled out all the stops that anyone could ever pull out for a training camp. I've not left anything unturned. Every box has been ticked. We are going to see the best Tyson Fury that Tyson Fury can be. The last time, I only had a couple of fights back, 6 months activity after 3 years out the ring. This time, I've had well over a year of activity. I'm coming off five victories back to back. I've just come off a good 12-round contest back in the end of last year. I'm match fit. I'm ready. I'm confident. Sparring's been going well. I'm injury-free. No excuses my end. I'm ready for a war, 1 round or 12.
He believes Wilder should be the one that is concerned, not the other way around.
There's no stress to me going into the fight. You know, I've been 12 rounds of him, outboxed him quite comfortable. Took his best shots, got up, fired back into him. The one who should be concerned is Deontay Wilder, because with him being a one-trick pony, he's a knockout artist, but he had me down twice in 2 rounds, 9 and 12. And he had over 2 minutes in each round to finish me, and he couldn't finish me. It was like that Mortal Kombat. They said, finish him! But he couldn't finish him. So, yeah, he's the one who should be concerned. He's landed the 2 best punches that any heavyweight in the world could ever land on somebody else. And the Gypsy King rose like a phoenix from the ashes, back to me feet, and hurt him in the end of the round. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult for Wilder, not me. This is heavyweight boxing. I've been hit, I've been hurt, I've been put down in my career. But it's not when we get put down. It's what happens when we get back up and keep moving forward.
Fury says he will put the hammer down if he gets Wilder in trouble in this rematch.
The biggest mistake I made last time was not making him pay when he was hurt. You know, I didn't know what I had in the tank last time. I'd never been 12 rounds in a long time. This time I know I can do the distance, and when I get him hurt, I'll throw everything but the kitchen sink at him. And he won't know what hit him. I learned that he can be hit and he can be hurt quite regular. That's the biggest thing that I learned about Deontay Wilder. Nothing I didn't already know. Before I fought him, obviously, I didn't know what he was like in a boxing ring. And after I fought him, I know what he's like now. And I said, there's nothing to worry about. He's got a big right hand, and that's it. You know, he's a one-dimensional fighter, and I'm going to prove that on the 22nd of February.
The lineal champion admits the judging from the first time around, it's influenced the way that he has approached and prepared for this rematch.
It played a massive role because it's made me uncomfortable. It's made me do things I didn't want to do. But, when we're taken out of our comfort zone and pressed, then we become better. So it was almost like a blessing in disguise that I didn't get the decision, because I would have kept working on my boxing. Just box. I believe I can outbox Deontay Wilder very, very comfortable. But the fact of the matter is, I believed I outboxed him comfortable last time, but it's no good me believing it. The judges have to believe it. And to guarantee a victory, I've got to get a knockout, because, I don't want to leave anything unturned this time. I don't want another controversial decision. I don't want people to say, oh, well, he won, no, he won, whatever. I want it to be a defining win, either way. The boxing side of it, one judge had it 114, 112 or something, 113, and then one judge had it like 117, 110, 116, 110. So I'm not sure what fight that judge was watching, but, I'm not a judge. These guys see what they see. That's their personal opinion. That's what they get paid to do. So, yeah. But in order to guarantee a victory, I think you've got to take it out of anybody's hands. My own destiny lies within my own two fists.
Fury says we can expect to see more offense in this rematch.
Yeah, I had a good defensive coach in Ben Davison. We worked on a lot of defence every single day for 2 years. It was defence. So I needed an aggressive trainer. I worked with Sugar Hill in the past. I knew he was a good guy. I knew we got on well, which is very important. Communication is the key to any good relationship. That's why I brought him in. And it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made, ever.
He says the talk of the first fight being the toughest of his career is nonsense.
Other than the two knockdowns, it was a pretty one-sided fight. I've had much difficult fights than that before, much more harder than that. Deontay Wilder's not my toughest opponent, that's for sure. My toughest opponent in my full career was Steve Cunningham. He was a former cruiserweight champion, and I fought him in about 2013 in New York, Madison Square Garden. And that was the toughest fight I ever had.
The Gypsy King believes talk of Wilder being the biggest puncher of all time is also overblown.
I felt the power. Ain't so bad. He can't be the biggest puncher in history, because he couldn't knock the Gypsy King out, could he? I took his best shot, flush on the chin, and got back up. He punches hard, but, I've never been hit by the likes of someone like Ernie Shavers. I didn't get hit by George Foreman. I didn't get hit by Rocky Marciano or any of those top guys. I didn't get hit by them, so I can't comment. So to say he's the biggest puncher in history, I'm not really sure, because I didn't get hit by all the guys in history. But, I don't think he punches harder than Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir has a massive knockout punch. A lot more fights than Wilder as well, 65 contests. Make no mistake, all heavyweights punch hard, and we can all knock anybody out. Wilder, I don't think it's so much his power, it's it's the speed it lands, which is it can be tricky when you don't see it coming. But then again, even a guy who's got no knockout ratio, if he hits you and you don't see it coming, then he's going to put you down. But actually feeling punches in fights, I'm not familiar with it, because I don't feel any punches when I'm in the ring, because the adrenaline's flying high, and you're in a fight, you don't feel the punches, ever.
In a way, he says the tough nature of the Otto Wallin fight was a blessing in disguise ahead of this rematch.
Going the distance in good fights, it really does sharpen you up into your match fitness. I was happy that the last fight was a tough fight, and it wasn't just a blowover, because it prepares me more for the Deontay Wilder Battle Royale. We both had two quick knockouts in the first two fights we had. He knocked out Dominic Brazil in a round. I knocked out Tom Schwartz in 2 rounds. And then in the second fight, I got a good 12 rounds in, and he got a good 7 rounds in. So we're both coming into this fight with match fit, both coming very active into this next fight.
And Fury, he did sustain 2 cuts in that Wallin fight over the right eye, one on the brow, one in the actual eyelid. He's been healing them for 5 months, but he's confident he made the right call in bringing in noted cutman Stitch Duran for the rematch.
The decision was, I got a big cut in my last fight, 47 stitches across the top of the eye, inside and out. And I need someone who's the best at what they do. And Stitch seems to be the best at what he does. So, yeah, we're not cutting any corners, that's for sure.
Tyson Fury is also adamant even in spite of winning this fight against Deontay Wilder, that he's not worried about his own legacy.
Yeah, I'm not really too concerned about the legacy. I've done what I've done. And when I'm finished with boxing, I don't care about the legacy at all. But the fact of the matter is I care about being active and I care about what's happening now. So, yeah, I think the Wilder fight cements me. Winning this fight cements me as the best of my era. No more to prove. Everyone else has been defeated. And there was only me and Deontay Wilder left who were unbeaten after 12 years as professionals. So it's all on the line for this fight. I think it's a massive must for me. It's a massive must to win. You know, I'm not really concerned about what happens when I'm gone. You know, when I'm gone means I'm retired. And when I'm retired means I'm on to other things. And that'll be another chapter of my life. So, you know, we can only take one chapter of our lives at a time. And I'm just enjoying and living in the moment right now. I'm living my dream, my childhood dream, my young adult dream, and my midlife dreams. And like I say, I really don't care about legacy, and that's the fact of the matter. Because what somebody thinks of me when I'm finished is really unimportant, because it's all sticks and stones, whether it's good or bad. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and there'll be somebody else to replace me, just like everybody else, every other champion in history. Other young guys have come along and took that place, and that's how the food chain works.